Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, which is entitled as Sannyasa Yoga. Sloka 64, Part 3. Sarva-guhyatamaṁ bhūyaḥ śṛṇu me paramaṁ vacaḥ iṣṭo me dṛḍhamiti tato vakṣyāmi te hitam. As you are exceedingly dear to me, Arjuna, I shall tell what is most beneficial to you. Bhakti Yoga is the greatest secret of all that have been told to you. Once again, hear from me the most exalted teaching about it. Understanding that Arjuna is not ready to surrender, Krishna recommends Arjuna to do Bhakti Yoga. Earlier, Arjuna had a doubt or concern why Krishna even giving him a choice. Why can't he himself set what is best for him? Therefore, Krishna, understanding what's running in Arjuna's mind, he advises Arjuna to continue the path of pravritti, because that is what Arjuna is used to. Those who are in the path of pravritti thinks differently about those who have taken up nivritti marga. In general, that is, those who does things on their own thinks about those who are dependent on someone else to be incapable people. But the truth of those who have not taken the path of pravritti marga, rather they are in the path of nivritti marga, is not because of their incapability. There were great saints in the history. They have taken the path of nivritti not because they are incapable to perform bhakti. The reason that they have taken the nivritti marga is because they have fully realized that the true nature of the self is to be dependent on the Lord. This is very nicely exhibited in Ramayana by Mother Sita. When she was kept in Lanka for a period, Hanuman came and found her and even offered her to take her back to Lord Ramachandra. She refused. She also could have easily destroyed Ravana, destroyed the entire Lanka by herself. She was not an incapable person, but she was not depending on herself. She was not depending on her skills, her powers, her position, but she was completely dependent on Lord Ramachandra, her husband, to come and save her. This is the height of paratantriyam, where one completely depends on the Supreme Lord. And this path is said to be nivritti marga. Similarly, the great souls, the great saints who have taken the path of siddhopayam, which is nivritti marga, they know very well the true nature of the self. The swarupa of the self is to be completely dependent on the Lord's mercy. Therefore, they do not plan their way to attain moksha. Rather, they completely depend on the Lord as a means to attain moksha. The protection has to be given to us by the Lord, but not by any other means. Let Him save me. I will not try to save myself, because nothing else can save me other than the Lord Himself. This is said to be sharanagati or prapatti. When we try to save ourselves through some means, we have the nature of independency, swatantriyam, which means we are taking away the role of the Lord to save us. Once again, let's be very clear. whether we take the path of bhakti yoga, whether we take the path of sharanagati, it is undoubtedly the Lord who saves us, the Lord who gives us moksha. On the conscious level, when one depends on Lord alone as a mean to attain the Lord, then they are called sharanagatas. When one depends on bhakti yoga as a means to attain the Lord, then they are said to be bhakti yogis. What Krishna instructed Arjuna in the 62nd sloka is tameva charanam gaccha sarva-bhavena bharata. Sarva-bhavena bharata. That means, you, Arjuna, surrender unto me by all means. Consider me to be everything. When Krishna says, consider me to be everything, that means Krishna is sadhana, Krishna is sadhya, Krishna is the mean, and Krishna is the goal. Krishna is father, Krishna is mother, Krishna is the protector, Krishna is the guardian, Krishna is everything. When one is in this mindset, he will not consider anything to be the means to attain Krishna other than Krishna himself. But nevertheless, Krishna is open to accept either path, because to attain moksha, there is only these two paths. One is bhakti, another one is prapatti. One may ask, what about karma yoga and jnana yoga, that we spend a lot of time on that? We know the answer by now, that they do not give moksha directly. Karma yoga or jnana yoga, they just lead one to bhakti yoga. For one to do bhakti yoga, one must have gone through karma yoga and jnana yoga. As per the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, for one to do bhakti yoga, one must have gone through karma yoga or jnana yoga. And we also know one cannot get to jnana yoga until one has performed karma yoga. Therefore, taking up bhakti yoga directly is like not performing the prerequisites of bhakti yoga. Why one needs to do karma yoga before the bhakti yoga is because there are obstacles, anadikala karma, which blocks us to do bhakti the way that Krishna wants us to do. And to remove those blockage, one needs to do karma jnana yogas. At the same time, we also know karma jnana yogas will not give us moksha. It will only take us to the bhakti, and the bhakti is what going to give us mukti. This is one way of attaining moksha. Whereas in the 4th chapter, Krishna gave another method by which they can attain is avatara ragasya, which will also give mukti. But that also must include bhakti in it. Whereas in the 15th chapter, Krishna gave a method by which one can attain mukti, that is called Purushottama Vidya. But that also involves bhakti. So bhakti is the key essence in any path that we take to attain the Lord. Without bhakti, none of the path that we may choose to take may not give us the end result, that is to attain the Lord. Here is something to know the difference between the path of karma yoga, jnana yoga, and the path of avatara ragasya that explained in the 4th chapter, and the Purushottama Vidya which is explained in the 15th chapter. The difference is that a person who performs karma jnana yoga will lead to bhakti, and that bhakti gives mukti after the prarabdha karma. This is very important to know. The karma which we are going through right now is called prarabdha karma. It is not one lifetime. It may go beyond one lifetime to finish our prarabdha karma. And once the prarabdha karma is finished, then we get another portion of karma from the sanchita karma, but from the savings account of our karma, which now becomes prarabdha karma. So, through the process of bhakti yoga, which is attained by fulfilling the prerequisite of karma jnana yoga, attains mukti after the prarabdha karma is over, which may take quite few lifetimes. When the prarabdha karma comes to an end, the Lord also finishes the sanchita karma of that Atma. Whatever the prarabdha karma one has to be finished by experiencing it. When the prarabdha karma ends, at that lifetime, Krishna also destroys the sanchita karma and gives that person mukti. Whereas the knowledge of avatara ragasya or purushottama vidya with bhakti gives mukti at the end of same lifetime. In 4.9, chapter 4, Sloka 9, Krishna said, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So if one considers avatara ragasya, the secret of Lord's incarnation, as anga and bhakti as angi, then one attains mukti in the same lifetime. If avatara ragasya is not considered as anga of bhakti, it will give mukti only after the prarabdha karma is over by performing bhakti yoga. Same applies for those who takes up purushottama vidya as the anga. They will attain mukti in the very same life. If purushottama vidya is not considered, one will attain mukti only when the prarabdha karma is over. Whereas on the other hand, if one performs sharanagati, even without avatara ragasya or purushottama vidya, one still attains mukti in same life. So again the same question comes, those who have surrendered should not meditate upon avatara ragasya or purushottama vidya? The answer is yes, they may choose to do so. It is not mandatory, but if they do not consider that as a mean to attain the Lord. It is not mandatory, it is not important that they have to do this one to attain mukti. Here is another viewpoint or another view to see this pravritti and nivritti marga. When one does not have any bad qualities, only good qualities, will naturally take to the path of pravritti marga. Whereas one who has no any good qualities, which implies what qualities they have, will take into nivritti marga. This is quite interesting to note, because those who are surrendered, we just saw that they take to the path of nivritti marga. Those who has little bit of swatantriya abhimana, the independent nature, will take into pravritti marga, which is sadhyopayam, whereas the other one is siddhopayam. So, are we saying that those who are surrendered, they are of full bad qualities, or those who surrendered in the past or even present, the great souls, when they have taken up nivritti marga, that means they do not have any good qualities, they only have bad qualities. Arjuna taking up pravritti marga, that means he only had good qualities, he did not have even a little bit of any bad qualities. Is that why Arjuna taking up pravritti marga? Well, no. Is swatantriya abhimana, the independent nature, clogs his eyes to see the truth of himself? Sure, Arjuna had both qualities, good and bad, but then he was only able to see good because of that swatantriya abhimana. Whereas Krishna, out of parental affection, vatsalya, only sees good in Arjuna. Therefore, we remember that in 9th chapter, 1st sloka, Krishna said, "Pravakṣyāmi anusūyave." Arjuna, you are not envious of me. Therefore, I am going to impart the most confidential knowledge. So Krishna only sees good. And here in this 64th sloka, Krishna says, "You're dear to me. Iṣṭos me." So the answer for the question that we raised, those who surrendered does not have any good qualities? No, they have good qualities, but they are not depending on their good qualities. They are depending on Krishna. The reason that they take up the Nivritti Marga is because they completely understood that the true nature of Atma is to be completely dependent on Krishna, no one else or nothing else. Whereas those who have taken up the path of Pravritti Marga, they depend on something else and also Krishna. They are Bhakti Yogis. When one depends only on Krishna for means and goal, they are Sharanagatas. Both Sharanagatas and Bhakti Yogi performs Bhakti. Bhakti Yogi depends on Bhakti to attain the Lord, whereas Sharanagatas depends on Krishna to attain the Lord. Bhakti Yogis attain Krishna after the prarabdha karma comes to an end, whereas Sharanagatas attains Krishna in the very same lifetime. In the next sloka, Krishna is going to conclude by re-emphasizing that it is Bhakti Yoga by which you can attain me, Arjuna, because that fits you well, and that Bhakti Yoga's Lakshana, attributes, are being explained in the next sloka. This 65th sloka is nothing but a repeat from the 9th chapter, 34th sloka. That shows Krishna likes it very much. Sarva-guhyatamaṁ bhūyaḥ, śṛṇu me paramaṁ vacaḥ, iṣṭo me dṛḍhamiti, tato vakṣyāmi te hitam. Namaste. Hare Krishna.